from this type. Jesus. Alright, so car's on the ground. Slicks are on. Some more precision. Oh, bitch. Who wants to watch me do something stupid? Alright, welcome back to CSM TV. We are back, and today we got a little bit different video. Got a box here from Natfab, which if you guys don't know who that is, if you're DSM guys, you probably should. He makes rear tubular subframes for 1Gs and not 2Gs. 1Gs with 1G rear ends, 3000 GTs. Fabs up control arm, rear control arms to tubular, a lot of other fabricated pieces for DSMs, and started on some Colt things as well, which is awesome because like nobody supports Colt stuff. So, and he's still supporting even DSM stuff, which is getting hard to find people to do that. But his work looks really good. I've actually never bought anything from him yet. Because I need a couple things, but it means changing other things. So we got something here. He actually sent this package to me. He just sent these control arms actually for the Colt, some front tubular control arms. It's like those guys, but he needed somebody to test fit them, so sent me two different ones, and I'm gonna test fit them on my car, see how they fit. And like I said, I haven't seen any of his products in person. All his pictures look really good, and I've heard really good things. So yeah, haven't even opened the package, so we will go ahead, open it up, and check out what we got. Not gonna lie, it was really hard not to open this yesterday when I got it, but I want to save it for the video and see if you can get my reaction, I guess. So, the ball joints go in. They're little bolt-in pieces for the Elantra control arms, which I'll show once I get mine on. Dang, those are sick. I should have found a better spot to do this. Oh, there we go. Man. Those things look awesome. I don't know much about welding, because I'm not a welder, but the welds look really good to me. It looks like this is probably just, yeah, this is just tacked in place, because he still has to thread this. He did tell me about that, but he wanted to get somebody to test fit it first. So there's that. This guy's got just an aluminum bushing, looks like. And this is an Elantra arm, but it's 10 millimeter pushed out. So it's pushed out so we can, once you get a different combo on the suspension stuff, you gotta fix some camber with the, if you run different knuckles on the CSMs. If you run Expo knuckles, you gotta correct the camber, and the plates I have are just barely at 0 camber, so a little bit extra might be better. Looks like he has a sway bar mount, which I don't use except for actually for my my suspension travel sensor. So, which is nice that that is there, and I don't have to make anything. Like this one's a stock one, which not stock Colt, it'll be stock Elantra. Which you need Elantra arms, those are actually longer, which you need for different axle options and stuff like that. It's like a factory bushing kind of in there, looking like. So assume he's going to go with this aluminum guy, I hope. or a Delrin. I have Delrin in there now that I had somebody make, but yeah, there those are. Go ahead and we'll need to pull the one off the Colt and throw one of these bad boys in, see how they fit. Okay, so I got everything bolted back up on my car with the Elantra control arm, the one I have. So I've just taken some measurements just for my own amusement. See just where it's at, I guess. I mean, that's not the best I could come up with. So 13 inches to this edge, like 15/7/8 to this edge, the spacer. Everything is locked in. This is cranked up too. And I took ones with the suspension sagging. So hopefully with a shitty tape measure and the way I measured, it'll measure up close to the same. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. All right, there she is all bolted in. A little dark. My light is dead, so we'll get that once it charges up a little bit. But let's check the measurements. Now with my precision measuring device here. I measured off of there, the factory pickup point, about 15/7/8. So this one is at 13. It's at 13 before as well, so precision. Let's go ahead and check it out underneath, see if we got enough battery here for the light. There we go. There we go. So yeah, everything bolted up actually really nice. Made it a little easier because there's a little more room. Right here, actually, it's like really tight, the factory control arm. So a little more room there. Everything else basically the same. They're pretty easy to bolt in. Yeah, seems like everything works really well. So let's go ahead and switch over to this 10 mil wider one and see how that goes. All right, there's the 10 mil longer control arm in. So the other one was just about actually a little easier with that aluminum bushing. It's actually installed in the other one. So I did measure it out. I probably should have done it a little differently now looking at it, but it's about 16 inches, so added about 1/8 of an inch or so just by this. I did straighten the wheel so it's sitting the same length now, that 13 inches, which I did have to pull out to, you know, basically like I was pulling the camber out of it. So I don't want to totally destroy my alignment at the moment. And then also I think I forgot to mention on the other one the sway bar mount, which I'm using for a shock travel sensor. So that one looked the same actually as this one. So still straight up and down. I wanted to put a factory sway bar in and make sure those were good, but I actually couldn't find one. So we'll have to just go with that. Looks like it's, I mean, pretty much spot on. I don't know how many people are going to be using sway bars on these cars, so some of them even came factory without them. So yeah, it is what it is. Looks good to me actually, and you know, same thing underneath basically. You know, nothing more besides just that little extra right here that he added in the two tubes. So looks like they fit good. They go in well. I really dig them, and I can't wait to actually get a set and get them on my car, because I'm definitely going to hit them up once these are in production and he's got a price. So yeah, I might actually have to throw my engine back in. Do have the engine still put together, and actually just go ahead and throw an axle in and make sure all that is good. I feel like just with rough measurements that we have that it's going to be fine, but we'll throw an axle in and see how that fits too. Okay, so one thing I guess I forgot to check, should have thrown these axles in before I switched control arms. The 10 mil arm is in. Let's see how much it pushed the axle out, if any. So came up with a way to sort of measure that. So I went full compression here, and then sort of screw the nut on till it gets snug. Pull it out. Try to do this as flat as I can. So looks like 0.75. We'll check the other side just for comparison, and then we'll switch control arms and do it on the factory stuff. Alright, so this one, same thing. Luckily this nut's a little bit tighter. Let's see if we can. This looks like gonna be a little bit less. This side's about 0.60, so not sure if it pushed it out. This axle is really tight on this side, just because of the weird combination I have. So yeah, just get an idea, I guess. Make sure it's not too far out. All right, so we'll do the old axle test here, see where we're at. And ooh, that's not gonna work. Looks like we can't even get that in straight, so may have to just eyeball this. So we'll get a nice precision measurement. So close to 0.4, so a little bit of difference there. Okay, got the car on the ground. Still has the 10mm wider control arm on it. Wanted to check the fitment between the wheel or the tire and the fender clearance. So got my precision pipe, and so it starts to get tight right on the inside of that. Kind of in there, a little bit tight. So we'll go to the other side and straighten the wheel up. This side still has the factory Hyundai Elantra control arm, so try to get a comparison. Maybe a little tighter. Still tight. So I don't know, seems about the same. Could be difference side to side. So what I'm gonna do is put in the other, probably the other Natfab control arm and see what that compares to. So yeah, we'll do that. Maybe we'll do the other control arm too. I don't know, we'll see how motivated I get. Okay, I lied, one more test. I'm gonna spin it. Spin the wheel as much as I can before and see how it rubs. So, starting point, because the camber's all messed up. A little over 1.5, and I think it's rubbing, I believe. Oh yeah, she's touching. Alrighty. So yeah, now we'll go through the other control arm on, see if we got any better results or worse or whatever. All right, car is back on the ground with the factory sized one. Got the 10mm one over here, factory size on the car. Measuring pipe. Let's see what we got. So that's, wow, that's got a lot of clearance actually. That's, interesting. Seems like, unless the suspension hasn't fully settled, seems like it had a bit more room than the 10mm offset one. So let's go ahead. So wheels just about straight, so it should be good. Wow, 1 and almost 3/4. That's interesting. Oh yeah, and that almost actually clears. Before it was hitting right here, so now it is hitting on that. Well then, so the 10 mil might not be the way to go with bigger slicks. All right, so the next thing we're gonna check is camber. Got the 10 mil ones on right now. We'll switch to the other one, back to the other ones since I forgot to measure for this. Camber plates aren't gonna move. They're all the way maxed out with my setup already. Maybe had like a degree of negative, I believe, or less. So didn't really have any more adjustments. So yeah, got some tape lines here to hopefully guide and keep everything exactly the same, or as close as we can. So, and got some marks on my pipe where to measure. So check this one. We got our gauge set to 0. Try to get this. So it looks like we got about 0.160. Okay, so got the factory Elantra one back on. Well, the factory Natfab sized one. Go ahead and get it zeroed, same spot. Well, let's try that again. Okay, now it's sitting at 0. Let's see what this one has. Get her. So it's like 0.205. Stop moving. So 0.205 with the factory Natfab sized Elantra control arm. Alright, so we got all the control arms out. They're on the ground, ready to hit the scale. I guess there's something about doing that earlier, and I did not end up doing that because I lied. Didn't have scale here, apparently. So we checked the camber, which from the stock to the 10 mil, it was about a 1.4 degree difference on my setup. And those arms on mine are maxed, the camber arms, so I can't go any more negative, which isn't a big deal. I don't really need any more. And then, and also the 10 mil had a little bit less clearance for the tire. So, but anyways, we'll get to weighing this out. Get the scale turned on here. Like it's zeroed out. That looks about accurate for my weight, right? Okay, so stock Hyundai Elantra, what is on my car. Looks like 8 pounds. Do the stock Natfab Elantra arm. Make sure this isn't. Make sure it's not touching the ground anywhere. Looks like it's good. 5.8, a little over 2 pounds. And the 10 mil, see if there's any difference. It's like same as the stock one, 5.8. So it looks like a little bit of weight savings, about 2 pounds, a little more camber if you need it, a little less wheel clearance if you go with the 10 mil. The stock one seems to be the exact same as what the stock one, which you would think. So a little bit of weight savings if you go with stock one. I'll probably go with those just in case I ever want to put a bigger tire on the car. So yeah, look for updates. He posts updates quite a bit on these, and I'm sure he'll have a powder coating option and all that. So yeah, that should do it for this video, and we'll see you on the next one. All right, so real quick, I just want to point something out. Had these bushings made for this control arm a while ago. And I'm not going to call out who did it, obviously, but mainly because it took forever to get this thing out, and it really just pissed me off. But it should never be that tight. It shouldn't, I don't know, there's a little bit of grime in there, but really, like, that thing was a pain in the ass to get out. Definitely made me a little grumpy. And this, real quick, this bushing that Natfab has on here, that's how it should go. Slides in and out. I'm going to sit there and cuss and get pry bars and attempt everything to get just one bolt out. So don't ever do that if you're making things. Don't make it super hard. Otherwise, you know, you're going to have a bad time.